Yes, I believe we are back again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you, I welcome you back to this program. While you are joining us, share this video. My apologies for that. I've been, you know, I am having some issues with, you know, I believe we're having technical issues here, but I believe it's being solved, and we must continue. We must continue. You know that you don't understand. Sometimes there are things you need to do, no matter how the enemy will actually try to stop you. We shouldn't give up. We will continue. I know that my network from this side is actually okay, and then my frame rate, my FPS. So I don't know why it kept on complaining about that. So I believe my settings, or either from my settings or from somewhere else. I don't know, but I think we will do better now. So let us actually listen to Hamadike while I am also setting it up to see if it is going to get normal. Let us continue to listen to Ohamadike, one of Biafra land.
What are Fulani people doing in our forest? Nobody can answer that question. They say that they're pastoralists. I want some of you have had your breakfast this morning. Please go to your fridge or go to where you keep your beverages and you will see pig milk. Pig. Some of us were raised on pig milk. For how many years now? And you keep asking yourself, what is pig milk? Pig milk is the same milk that the cows produce in Holland can be produced in the zoo. Tell me the country in the world aspiring to be a member of the UN Security Council where you move cattle from place to place.
Nigeria.
Are you people well at all? You so-called Nigerians, are you normal in the brain? I'm asking you a simple question. Show me a country that aspires to be in the 21st century moving cattle from place to place. Tell me they're crazy. Which country is that? Please tell me.
Nigeria.
All of you don't have any shame. When you have people, an entire presidency coming out to defend a very primitive, archaic agricultural practice, then you know you embrace mess. You are a one almighty problem, I'm telling you. People are in a mess. The Holland that you get your big milk from, do they move cattle from Rotterdam to Amsterdam?
No.
I'm asking you a simple question. But they produce the big milk that you're drinking every blessed day. Why can't Fulani produce big milk in Sokoto? Why can't they produce Carnation milk in Kano? They have the cattle. Before the white man came, did you see any Fulani in your forest? All these people talking rubbish about movement of cattle and movement of... I'm asking you, before Britain came and handed over Nigeria to Fulani, ask your grandfathers, please, or your grandmothers. Ask them. All this nonsense we are hearing today in this so-called one, I want to tell you the dangers of one Nigeria. All this nonsense you're hearing today about one Nigeria, Fulani in our forest, Fulani in our village. Before the white man came, did you see Fulani moving their cattle all over the place? They do not have meat to eat. They will answer these questions for you. Because I can't understand for the life of me why instead of them to waste all that money arming and equipping this Janjaweed army to come and conquer you and I, why don't they open a milk factory somewhere in the north and bring the milk down south? I'm sure southerners will buy it. After all, pig milk comes all the way from Holland. Pig milk all the way from Holland. Now you understand it. Because of the way you people reason. Why can't you produce? Is it difficult to produce milk? The same milk that comes out naturally from the udder of the cow. Why can't you can it somewhere, pasteurize it, and send it to eat, to drink, or to do whatever? All over the world, that is what is happening. In fact, they produce so much milk in Europe that they pour it away. Why can't you do something? A whole president claiming they are in the 21st century are supporting a very primitive practice of moving cattle from place to place. All of you, you're not ashamed of yourself. You have no shame. As somebody will say, your shame is shaming me. I'm telling you, you people from the zoo, I'm ashamed of your ignorance and stupidity. You people are hopeless, completely hopeless. One day I want you to come and say, we're intellectuals. And you're moving cattle from Kafanchan to Ahoda. You are intellectuals. You are intellectualizing. You are in the 21st century, you are moving cattle, driving cattle, Nama, from over 300 miles. It's claiming Yoruba forest is a place for you to be in. You want to relax in Yoruba forest. Every Nigerian is free to live anywhere. And do their business anywhere, yes? But when an Igbo man tries to sell beer in Kano, you destroy it. You destroy their businesses, you destroy their hotels, but you can come down to the south and live anywhere you like and grace anywhere you like. And you're telling me that is a country, that is one Nigeria for you?
Did you hear that? Those of you on YouTube, I believe they are kicked out again on Facebook. Did you hear that? That's exactly what our leader is saying. I am going to continue on YouTube. I will not try to join back on Facebook. So, that is exactly what our leader is talking about. Because, he wants everything, whatever he is preaching, it is all about everything being okay for everybody. He is not only preaching to Biafrans, he is not only preaching to IPOBs, he is preaching to, the nation, the indigenous people of Nigeria. Those are whom Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was preaching to. Now, the same people that he is preaching to, they are the same people, who, and this preaching is all about for the betterment of everyone, so that you will understand your good norms and value system and value them the way it is, so that you will actually follow the world to evolve. Because in 21st century, Fulanis, they are still moving cattle from place to place without being apologetic about it. And these are the people who are, using their own primitive, ideology and primitive ways of doing things to actually, make life uncomfortable for other people. In the name of cattle, grazing, people are dying. And the only thing your president will continue to say, he will continue to say it is about the weather. It is the weather, climate change. That is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, he is asking those moving cattle from places to place, why can't you produce ordinary pig milk? Because ordinary milk, not even evaporated, ordinary milk, fresh milk, they can produce it. But you've been moving cattle that produce all this milk in the last, century. It never helped you. You continue to do the same thing. Fulani has been moving cattle, since 1 century now. They have never thought of finding a way to actually evolve or finding a way to bring revolution to their practices, because change is the only thing that is constant. They haven't found a way to look for change. So preaching of our leader is for the benefit of all of them. And having seen that all of us that are together in Nigeria, it is actually, what you are doing, since you love it the way you are doing it, you don't want to involve with time. You don't want to move with time. You don't want to actually, want to use your own ways to block other people's way because they tell you, because Nigeria is a secular state. It is a multicultural society. And multiculturalism never worked for anybody. So in that regard, you are grazing your cattle. You don't plan on actually finding a way to bring revolution and do animal husbandry, or find a way to even utilize those cattle in order to produce something. You have never produced anything. No innovations by the Fulanis. But they have been your leader in the last how many years now? How many decades? No innovation coming from Fulani. There is nothing new that they have introduced in your life. They have nothing new they have introduced in the country you call the Nigeria. Yet you people still champion one Nigeria. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was telling you that you have your own way, and he is not against it, but you using it to actually enslave the indigenous people. That has been the problem. Why don't you go your way? Go and do whatever you want to do that you love doing. Go and do it. Then we will go and do the one we want to do on our own, in our own way, without obstructing you, or without you obstructing us. Because you come to Biafra land, you do whatever you want. You live in the bush, you kill people, you graze your cow, destroy people's farms. But when a Biafra person sells beer in the north, it becomes a problem. You are trespassing, but you do not want others to trespass. You are actually trespassing, and we are compromising for you guys. But you never for one day compromised for us. You see the reason why the multiculturalism will never work. Because you people are actually very ignorant. And you are very, very, you are extremists. Because in everything you believe, no one will change your mind. And since your mind cannot be changed, I believe you should do your own things. Let us do our own things. Let everybody not stand in each other's way. Let us go as Biafrans. Arewa goes as Arewa if they want. Oduduwa goes as Oduduwa if they want. If they don't want, they should continue to be with you guys. But for us, we say that we are tired of your own primitive ways. We can no longer survive. We can't breathe in your primitive way of, doing things. Upon that, you are forcing this relationship to continue, but you yourself, you never ever did anything in the benefit of this other party in this relationship. You do everything that is against them. The security officers in the security apparatus, these Fulanis are all the, significant position. They have occupied all the significant position. Yet you are forcing us to be together with you. Does it mean that you people find it fun enslaving others? Because had it been that you people are not primitive, you bring innovations, bring infrastructure, bring everything, and you don't practice nepotism or call any other person an infidel, I don't think that we will be here talking what we are talking right now. But as a result of Fulani seeing any other person that is not a path of your jihadism or jihadist, an infidel. And because you are seen as an infidel, you must go and swear an allegiance with Fulani, because they can never trust an infidel. That swearing allegiance, it is only going to make them to be watching you very closely. You can't move an inch. They are monitoring every of your, doings, because you are an infidel. That is the reason why they will tell you, you have converted. Just like they have told Hope Uzodinma. They gave him a blanket to wear on the head. Told him, you have converted. You are now almost like Fulani. Without Hope Uzodinma knowing he is a slave to Fulani. Because they can never trust an infidel. So at the end of the day, you need to go and kill this infidel. Because it is all about conviction and motivation. You need to kill this infidel to show us that you are no longer an infidel. That you hate an infidel. That is the reason why Hope Uzodinma will go and kill our people in Imo State. Burn their houses. Just like you see houses of people one of the politician, opposition party, his country house got burnt because he spoke. He spoke about the injustices happening in Nigeria and Imo State, to be precise. That was the reason why his country home was burned. His uncle was killed in a cold blood. Dude. It doesn't even take these people a minute to kill one another, to kill, their fellow human. How do you want people like us who are no killers to continue to be in the same space with these killers? Because it takes a killer to live together with a killer. We are going to be, traumatized. We are traumatized already. Because seeing the carnage that they are bringing, seeing the desecration they are bringing in our land while in front of children, in front of everyone. Destroying our minds, that we can never ever be free. Each and every time you think about these tragic stories, it traumatizes you. But you might not understand the level of damages it does to the brain. You will believe, we saw it, and with time it will take time to heal. It does not heal. That is part of the system that is actually making your brain to be locked up. Now you are now looking for every day to a wrong shoulder to cry upon. That is how you find yourself in the church. Sleeping in the church day and night. That is how you find yourself in the native doctor's house. For them to do one or two for you. That is why you find yourself in one nonsense, with things. You find yourself doing one funny things to another. Believing it is going to help you. You can never cheat nature. There is something people don't understand. Those who go and you are going to do okite or nwite or awele or whatever. You can never cheat nature. To create something, nature needs to take something. If you want to live your life of yesterday now, there must be a sacrifice you will make to nature. To the mother nature, before it will be granted. Because everything that is actually being, everything is actually programmed by God. It is up to you to find a way to achieve it. Through hard work and consistent. That is the only way you can achieve what God has actually done, positioned for you. You must make sacrifice. Sometimes you make that sacrifice with your time. Most of the time you make it with your energy. You make it with your mental strength in order to foster, to promote anything that you are actually doing. That is your endeavor. You need to make sacrifice. It is not going to do okite just to make it quick. There must be a sacrifice. Have you ever heard about something that says what goes around comes around? Everything that goes around comes around. Law of nature. Some of you call it karma. It is law of nature. So many of you believe that heaven is here, hell is here. Heaven we talk about, it is about Mother Nature. Hell we talk about, it is about Mother Nature. Things that are natural. If you excel, it blesses you. If you actually make mistake, it will scold you. It will punish you one way or the other. If it prolong the punishment, it waits for your children. When you come back next time, it waits for them. That's where you will invoke, I will visit your children till the third generation with the sins of their father. That's when you invoke it. Because what is going on is that a mistake you make here, if you don't correct it while you are still living, it will continue to be in that lineage. They will continue to make that same mistake. And that same mistake will always lead them to destruction. If you don't change it before it leads you to destruction, it means it stays in your lineage. It stays in your gene until 300 to 400 years. That is the nature. Do you think there is any man who kill that will go unpunished? He who kill by gun will die by gun. How? One way or the other. Regardless of some of you will kill, you run to church and you say, I confess my sin. I am confessing my sin to Almighty God. Please forgive me. I have sinned and come short of your glory. It is waiting for your children. Why did you do it in the first place to come and confess? It is waiting for you. Until the third and fourth generation. It is waiting for you. That is the hellfire. It is in your, it is before you. Don't you know we are in hellfire already in Nigeria? In Africa, you are in hellfire because of some decisions of your ancestors, some decisions of your leaders. That is the reason why you find yourself in hell. Or do you think there is another place where you are going to go? And you start burning, you will be screaming, my father, my mother, my this, my that. You are already in one mighty mess, which is the hellfire that the Bible was talking about. Unless you change your way, your ways of reasoning. It is not spiritual for you to change your mind. Spiritual realm cannot change your mind. It is you putting in energy, mental strength, hard work to change it. Now, first of all, the first thing you need to say to yourself, you cannot reap from where you did not sow. Whatever you do comes back to you. If you do good, you do yourself. If you do bad, you do yourself. It can never be erased. For some of you who will go and after committing all sort of heinous crime, if you Bible, church. When you go to church, you will believe, God will forgive me. I'm so holy. It is waiting for you as you are committing it. That is law of nature. Just like you may all know that what Europeans are doing to Africa, it is waiting for their children. Law of nature. The countdown has begun. It is waiting for them. It takes time to adjust. Law of nature. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now saw that this thing has been affecting our people. Multiculturalism. And it has made you to be in my way. Making me to be in your way. So for us to avoid being in each other's way and clashing and, bringing our, our filth to the public, it is better you go your way, I go my way. If we can create a common ground, we have business, we have every other thing that will help our both nations to thrive. Very, very simple. As simple as that. Because a black man will never ever embrace something that will help him to thrive, that will help him to actually be free, one way or the other. They will always see it as a big challenge. You have always seen everything that will help you to survive, that will help you to start living, as a big challenge. You are so scared of change. That is the reason why you are primitive. You are so scared of change. And that change is not actually adopting European way of living in the name of culture, or adopting, European way of, doing their stuff. You can adopt the, European ways of technology. You can adopt that. Don't adopt European ways of culture, because you have your own already. They came, they adopted your own technology. They actually went back, they actually bring revolution to it, refine it, and make it easier and more accessible. It is your initiative that they have taken away from you, and they refined it. So it is up to you to take it back from them and now refine it to be better than the way you got it from them. That is called the world evolving. You cannot remain one place and you believe that, you are living. You are not. You continue to make one mistake. You have been moving cattle from places to place more than 1 century, Fulani. But today, you are still moving cattle. You have never produced milk. You have never produced any milk. Of course, he gave he gave an example of pig milk. Pig milk is the one of the most selling brand in Nigeria. Pig milk. Is it produced by Nigerians? The answer is no. Is it produced by Fulani who are moving cattle from places to places? When this pig milk is as a result of squashing the odor of your cattle, as a result of squashing the odor of your cattle, where this pig milk are coming from, and you refine it and can them. Very, very easy. Can them. Bring them into the market. If you don't know, you go and learn it in Holland. Send one of your own, they go and learn it. You see the reason why your primitive way will never take us anywhere. So we should stop fooling ourselves. Politicians are in those boats who call themselves professor. You guys should stop fooling yourself. You should actually, remove that professorship or doctorship in your name, because it is a shame. Because you will see the set of people who can never ever bring innovation, who can never ever, promote innovation, who can never ever try to actually evolve in anything they are doing. They are always volatile. If they go to the global stage, they will be trying to please their slave masters instead of trying to actually speaking what will help Africa to achieve her goal by saying Europeans should, hands off Africa. Let them change that policy they made in Berlin Conference. That policy that was made in Berlin Conference, they should change it that Africa may be free. No! When some of you go there as leaders of Africa, you go there and you start consolidating with these people. Consolidating just like Buhari. Every time consolidating. The one called Buhari because he's sitting there as Buhari. And at the end of the day, what has it actually given to you guys? It will continue to attract more of the Western excesses in your land. Interference. Now, do you think that your oppressor will want you to wake up at some point in life? No. So now, Fulani cannot bring change. Fulani does not like Western education. Unfortunately, not all of you, not all of you as indigenous people of Nigeria that does not like Western education. Now, at the end of the day, when you like Western education, it means you are an enemy of Fulani. I'm giving you as an example. Fulani does not like anything done in order. They don't like animal husbandry because they want to be grazing. When you try to tell them if they come into your land, they should not do grazing. They should go for husbandry. Fulani will not like it. It means that you are now, telling them what to do with their lives. Multiculturalism will never work in any society. You have the biggest democracy as you always brag about. Biggest democracy with being ruled by somebody who is actually a primitive person and somebody who is actually who is an extremist. It can never be achieved. So in this regard, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu wanted freedom for you so that we will not stand in your way. He wanted freedom for us so that you will not stand in our way. He wanted freedom for another so that none of us will stand in your way. That we will concentrate and build our lives, build our economy, that we will be able to actually challenge the big world economically. And when we come to the global stage, we will stand firm and give our speech as free people. Not give our speech as people who are actually, doing annual return, or people who are actually doing a financial year, audit to the boss. When you do audit to the boss, you shake. You shake because you've been managing the company. And especially when the things are not moving fine, you are auditing the financial year. You will be shaking, of course. Now, that is exactly what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is saying here. Let everybody be free. He is not particular about whom he wants to be free, but he wants to be free. In case if you don't want, he wants him and his people have chosen to be free. He is not particular about who he wants to be free. But I and my family, we have chosen for ourselves the God that we are going to worship. So it is up to you to make decision. I have introduced it to you. Make a decision, and it is a way that will help you. 2 ways that seem right. 2 ways. Narrow is the way. It is the only thing that you don't want to try. You are so scared of change. You are so scared of change because your brain fog is actually captured. It's captured. It is not functional anymore. That is the reason why you will continue to be in the control of Fulani. When they tell Hope Uzodinma, go and kill, you go and kill. They tell devil, man, he can kill you, can kill. Now, they will now tell Soludo, you should go and preach that you will stand a surety for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Soludo will go and preach. They tell, what is his name? The one from Abia State, Ojuzo Kalu. Ojuzo Kalu, go and say you will stand surety for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu so that you will change a narrative. So that the whole Nigeria will start saying that they want surety for they want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to come out first. That whatever it will take, even if it is say is surety, for them to forget that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted. That is exactly their plan. So that even if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have to go, be released, he can't even travel. He cannot even do anything. He cannot even move from, maybe 500 meters from wherever he is. House arrest. That is exactly what they want for him. They want to restrict his movement because they know that the time is running out for them. They think we don't know. Then what is happening right now, it is big. Now the politicians are using that opportunity to come and say, we want Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to be free. Even if it is release him to me. Release him to me. Look at Soludo. Soludo will tell you, release him to me. As if just because one governor over yesterday. Release him to me. And then release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to you. Who and you and who? Who can handle who? You think you can fool IPOB? You can never fool this generation. Don't, because of your primitive way of doing things and primitive way of thoughts or thinking, you believe that you can come out and manipulate people in this 21st century and we will not decode it. Dude, you are fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself. Because you coming to tell her, hey, release him to me. Surety. For what? What are you standing surety for? For who? A person that, injustice was meted upon. Do you know what is the meaning of standing surety for somebody? It means that this person have committed a crime. And this person is still under investigation. Or this person is going to be released on bail or parole. And you are standing surety. That is when you have to stand surety for that person. You cannot stand surety for a person who is discharged and acquitted. So stop pushing this narrative. It is not going to sell. Let those you people are using to write rubbish. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I appreciate Soludo for telling him that they should release him for him. Because they believe you are stupid. They believe that these nonchalant things, you cannot decode it. That is the reason why they will run out and come and throw it to you. They take you for a joke. They take you for as if you are still very stupid like those people living in the animal kingdom called Nigeria. That their brain fog is destroyed. That is no longer working. Everything can serve. Everything. They have no decision of their own. They have no choice of doing anything. They have to wait for somebody to actually decide what is right for them. And those whom they are waiting for to decide what is right for them, it is those who are killing them. Why do you still want to live in a society like that? Why do you want to be living like an animal? Like an animal that they need to change your name. They need to tell you to sit. They need to tell you to do whatever you have to do. They need to tell you that bribing you 2,500 to sell your vote in Nigeria, it is what is bringing your predicament. In the Western world, they don't need to bribe you. In the free nations, they don't bribe people to get their vote. They tell you what they will give you when they go in. And you give them 2 years. If that thing is not done, you remove them. That's how it is done in the free nations, where they practice democracy, when Buhari lied to you, or whoever in that Sorok, in their presidency, lied to you, tell you, we are the largest democracy in Africa. Largest democracy, my food. When did you start practicing democracy? Don't you know the gadgets that come with democracy? Justice system must be independent, fully independent. Don't you know the gadgets that come with democracy? People's life, people's right must be respected. That is things that come with democracy. People's opinion must be considered. Power is for the people, and power is given by the people. So their opinion must matter. The reason why it is democracy, if you are doing something wrong, I have the right to criticize you, just like I am doing right now. You cannot say I am insulting you, because you are there to represent me and you are not representing me well. And it is affecting my life. That is the reason why you people that are raising your children, raise them to respect their elders, but raise them to know where to draw the lines, because they will continue to take advantage of them as they continue to grow up. Teach them to respect their elders as per the culture, but teach them also where to draw the line, so that nobody will actually take advantage of them. That is the reason why sometimes your little girl will be touched. They wouldn't tell you, because they will be convinced that because these are the things you are trying to hide from them. You wouldn't tell them, do not allow somebody to touch you inappropriately. Your little boy will be touched by, by people whom you respect you because they are bisexual. Without you knowing, when they grow up, they become the same thing. Without you knowing that they are being touched, because you taught them how to respect their elders, but you never tell them where to draw the line. And that is the reason why Nigeria will continue to deceive you. Every time they bring you old people, they tell you should respect your elders. Respect my food. Respect, you must reciprocate. You earn respect. Nobody will be deserve respect until they earn it. So when they tell you that when you speak like this, you are insulting your elders, tell that person that those elders does not earn your respect. They will earn your respect by doing the right thing with the money belonging to both of you. Just because you put him in power to actually take care of the money doesn't make the money his. It doesn't make the power his. It is democracy. So, if you criticize him, that is the reason why they brought to your, to your religious religion to tell you that you should, how do I put it? That they tell you, let me find a way to put it, then I will bring it on. I don't want to actually misquote it, because it is very, very important, something that you need to pick up. Because they can never, ever, work for you. You need to change your approach. If you see something you've done one or two times, it doesn't work, try something else. Think about something else. That makes your mind, healthy. You cannot continue to actually try something and they tell you have faith. Have faith on what? Faith without work is nothing. You have tried this multiculturalism. I'm coming back to it. You have tried this, her biggest democracy. It never worked for you because you cannot cope with biggest democracy. America is coping with biggest democracy because they are not practicing multiculturalism. America is a Christian nation. You can bring your own doctrine, but don't use it to stand in their way. China is the biggest, They have big population, not big, the biggest actually. They have big population, if not the biggest, but they have one particular, gazetted way of life and their religion, which is Buddhism. Now, when you come to do your own, and if you use it to, if their own is not making noise, you use your own to make noise, they warn you because you are contravening the law of the country. You can do your things, do it in your space. Don't use it and destroy and actually interfere with my life. That is how it's supposed to be. Then everybody will have respect for your culture. How many things will something happen to you before you learn? How many times they tell you to have faith? You continue to have faith. It will change tomorrow. And you continue to drown in poverty. And which is pushing your children to do things anything can do. I was with a friend one time when, the father was calling this dude. He said he sent 30,000 naira to the father for transport from somewhere to somewhere. The father called him and was screaming at him. What are you, this 30,000 you send, what is it gonna be? How is it going to help our situation? They are putting you in pressure without understanding your own predicament where you are. Because Nigeria put them under pressure. So everything around them must be under pressure also. Including people who have actually, who have their own life. They must be under pressure because Nigeria placed them under pressure. So, Nigeria placing you under pressure is because Nigeria can never work as, one nation. Multiculturalism never worked for any country. That is it. That's the way it is. It never worked for any country in the world. That is bringing division, stereotype, and then you bring favoritism, bring, nepotism. Those are the things that brings it. And these are the things that you don't need for a country to grow. For a nation building, you don't need these things because you need to pick up the best, regardless of whom they are or whatever they're affiliated to. As long as you have one, one culture that the country recognize, whatever they are affiliated to is none of your business because you have one goal to achieve. So that is how we will be able to thrive. That is why we must go our separate ways. If you don't want this democracy that you are abusing, you start your own jihadism or whatever dism you want to do. You continue with it. Your people understand it and they will adopt it wholeheartedly and allow us to continue with our own ways, which favors us. If we want to go to Christianity, we go to Christianity. If we want to go to Ordinana, we go to Ordinana. And we will gazette only one. That any other person that will come in will know that we are this. But we must choose wisely. Because that is another place where the challenges falls. You must choose wisely to know what is originally yours. Then you champion it. Do you know the reason why Arab nation is thriving, growing? They know what is their own. They chose it. We have our own. We must never neglect it. If you leave your father's truth to go and look for another person's father's truth, the land will pay you. That is it. You know when the land pays you. The land will pay you, but it will never produce anything fertile to you. It will never give you anything, productive. Because, You have left the truth of your land, the truth of your own, the truth of your gene, the truth of your spirit, the truth of your generation, the truth of your connection. You left it behind to go and look to connect to other truth. You will never adapt. It might work for them, but it will never work for you. They put our children under pressure. They go and do Okite. Okite will one day come and start, because everything they are doing, it will come back to them. It will come back one way or the other to them. Whatever they have, put their hands doing, whether good or bad, it will surely come back. That is law of nature. You put your child under pressure. You don't even consider, because Nigeria is putting you under pressure. They continue carrying it down the line, generation to generation. Because your child will grow up now. They put their own children under pressure. That is when mental slave continue to now multiply. Go to generation, evolving. So, we are in the democracy right now. So, if what I am saying is an insult, it means you don't understand democracy, and you need to actually desist from it, so that the people who understand it will champion it. Because when you don't understand democracy, you will never ever know the value of democracy, or what you need to do to actually win in democracy. That is as a result of what you are seeing in Nigeria today. And that is the reason why you must teach your children where to draw the line when they come to respect, because this Nigeria, these people you call your leaders, they have taken advantage of their old age. They will use it to continue to suppress and oppress you. Each and every time you try to actually move ahead, they draw you back with their ideology, because they are primitive. So don't know where to draw the line. Teach your children to know where to draw the line. Respect is earned. It is earned. So when you want to respect somebody, make sure that they deserve those respects. Because this is the reason why you have so many pedophiles in Nigeria around you without you knowing. It is not only in Nigeria, it is everywhere. Pedophile. You would not know they are interfering with your children. In case if you have never thought about it, it doesn't matter whether it is uncle, what do you call it? They are one way or the other. They will be doing something wrong. So when you teach your children where to draw the line, don't allow anybody to touch you inappropriately. When it comes to that, come and tell me. Reject it and make sure that, even no matter, do what you can to resist, so that we will stop polluting this our world and stop desecrating our lives and the land. Because that is a lot of things. The reason why a father sleeps with a daughter, it is only because the daughter might say, I have too much respect. They will get carried away. It is my father. At the end of the day, come back haunting you. It is the secretion of a land. Now, we move away from there, because we are saying everything that will help us. Those who want freedom will learn from it. Those who does not want freedom, they will not learn from it. They will see it as just, waste of time, because they are, these are the generation that is going to be destroyed because of ignorance. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is somebody who is doing everything to help me and you. Politicians are now the ones trying to bring him down, one way or the other. Every possible means they are. These politicians are like chameleons. They are like chameleons. That's what they are. Chameleons. In case if you don't know. Because you will, some of you who think I will go and dine with politician, and after dining with politician, we make it confidential, and at the end of the day, you will find out that there is no confidentiality with politicians, because when they are dining with you, there must be something they are looking for from you. There is something they want to get from you. It's either they want to take your influence. They want to take your influence. That is one of the things that you should know. Some of you will say they want to take your luck, your destiny. They want to take your influence, and using that your influence to add to their own, and to add to their actually, progress. Be it them, whether their progress is killing another or whether their progress is making things to happen, they don't care, but they want to take your influence. That is how, when this picture that is actually here, what we are going to now go into it is because this picture is going to teach you exactly what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will always say. If you serve the zoo, you return back in shame. This picture might mean nothing. This picture might mean nothing. But at the end of the day, we come to actually analyze this story. Just like I said, there is something I learned from Marian Heder when we were having a program on Radio Biafra yesterday. I learned to put up a disclaimer, and that disclaimer is that my analysis on this video, on this photo in front of you, next to me, it is going to be based on conspiracy theory. Now, the reason why I am going to base it on conspiracy theory is because there are things I want you to understand. I want you to use your brain and use your tongue to count your teeth so that you will know it next time when you see it. Now, because it will give me a full analysis towards and breakdown analysis for that matter, for you to understand this. Now, this picture you see that is taken between, I believe it is Emmanuel Kanu Meme's wife. I believe that it is Emmanuel Kanu Meme's wife that is in this picture with Okezi Ikpeazu. And Okezi Ikpeazu you see here is a governor of Abia State. Under his watch, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu family, or he is in cahoot with those that came to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because he is the chief security of the state. Under his watch, they come to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in 2017. The military, it is not hire killers. It is officials, government officials. They ended up gunning down 28 able-bodied men and women in Afaro, Quebec, under Okezi Ikpeazu's watch. He never ever, give a report as per what happened. He never come to say, I am going to testify that this man did not jump bail. He never did it, because he is a Fulani slave. How can he do it? To favor somebody who is looking for your freedom. How can I favor this person who is trying to bring a change, which I am so scared of? That is the reason why he can never do it. But the big question and the problem I'm seeing here in this picture might mean nothing. But why is it surfacing in the media, social media, in this time? When do you know there is uncertainty? There are some unsolved cases. There is some mystery behind, around Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's siblings with regards to his betrayal. There is a lot of allegations. There is a lot of claim. People have made so many allegations. People have actually bring up so many, things that make a lot of sense, including the family member contradicting themselves, actually, incriminating themselves, and which makes you to have a solid case around, them knowing about the betrayal of their sibling or their senior. Have you seen the reason why I will always tell you, if you join this program, please share the video, or you click the like button for the algorithm to continue the sharing. Click the like button, let the algorithm continue the sharing. So we continue. You see the reason why, the real reason why you will agree with me, or you should understand that ideology is only given to one person at a time in the same household. That is the reason why in the house of Jacob, in the house of Jacob, in the house of Isaac, God chose to bless Jacob. God chose to bless Jacob. Among the siblings of David, God chose to choose David. And choosing David does not make that whatever David have as an anointing or calling or ideology, and putting it in a way that you will understand it, because through Christian way, or because when you put it in that way, you will understand where I am going. Because so many of us are more Christianized than Christian itself, than those who actually introduced it. So, placing it in a context where you will be able to understand it and put it in what we are doing. That is the reason why you come to a family. God gave me this way of talking. God gave me this way of actually preaching this gospel. God gave me this boldness of preaching this gospel. God actually gave me this, way of actually relating and connecting with you. It does not mean that he gave it to my younger brother or my elder brother. No. They have their own ways, their own ideology. If they are actually, trying to, be within and around my ideology, that simply means that they are tapping my influence. They are tapping my influence. That's what they are doing. Does not mean that they are following this ideology of mine wholeheartedly, because it is never their own ideology. Every human being is born with their own ideology. That's why they do what they do. Some people succeed. Some people will actually fail. Because it is actually been already programmed. So, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's family, it is not a must that they will make enemy with anybody that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu makes enemy with. It is not a must that they will be friends with anything Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is friends with. Now that brings us to the context of what we are doing. It is not a must that they will believe in what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is doing to actually restore their own freedom. It is not a must. They have to do their own. This is life. They are no longer children. They are adults. So they are living their lives. But where I find it so difficult is now using their ways of life, their own ways to actually come and interfere with something that our leader had actually implemented. Trying to, destroy it. That's where I have problem with their own ways of life or with the people they make friends with. People they make friends with is none of your business. Neither is it my business. No, any of your business. It is none of it. But when it comes to them interfering with Ohazuluku, which is we people and indigenous people of Biafra has agreed that we want to restore Biafra. And in the philosophy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, none else. In his setup, we continue to move until, otherwise. Now somebody will now come and start interfering in his setups, in his absence, taking advantage of being a sibling. That's where I have called the DOS. Make a decision that you know that is best for the struggle. Because if you make a decision based on your emotions, it will come back to haunt you. If anything happened in a family, if there is any mistake done in a family, the first person that will be confronted is the eldest, which is the heir apparent to the throne of the family. If it is a place where, they are, they have a patriarchal setups, the first person they will, ask if they are grown-ups is the man in the house, because they have a patriarchal setup, patriarchy. They practice patriarchy. Now, in that regard, DOS is now the people who is the eldest in this family. So whatever that is going to go wrong, they are the first people to be brought, for questioning, because they allowed it. They make a decision according to their, not because it is what they're supposed to do, but they make a decision based on the emotion that it is our leader's siblings. You see how it will affect everybody because emotion. Do you know the reason why? Do you know that, technology has it that you can manufacture a robot that has, that is like a human. But the biggest fear of, these inventors, the biggest fear of these programmers, it is having a emotional robot, because human beings are emotional. The reason why it is their biggest fear, it is because they know that humans make stupid decisions based on their emotions. So that is the biggest fear. Creating a robot that it can bring a destruction if it is emotional. It can pick up a gun and gun down anybody who makes it angry. That's how it is, because it is emotional. And this emotions is our weakness. If you cannot control that emotions, it brings you to, to your destruction. That's why they are so scared to create emotional robots. Do you think they cannot? When they can create a robot, that has eyes, an eyes in God's perspective, which that God created an eye to actually be able to see something, to capture an image and send that image to the brain to assess that image and bring back the information, to assess and analyze that image. That is God's perspective, creation of eyes. They have a robot, a camera that has, that is created, the lenses are created in, like your eyes. They can see a car following you behind. And they will tell you that this car has been following you behind in the last 20 minutes or in the last 10 minutes. They will notify you that this car has been following you. The same way you will turn around or use your side mirror to analyze that this car has been following me. Now, they have that power. Technology has it that they can create a robot in God's perspective. But in God's perspective, creation of a human being, He gave them emotion. That emotion is the reason why they are killing each other. The reason why they are oppressing each other. The reason why they are, cheating each other. So, imagine if you create a robot in that perspective. Give it emotion. Give it emotion. Dude, they will ruin the world. They will go gather together and they will build nuclear weapons. Before you know it, they will throw it and destroy all of you. Everybody. Because they are emotional. Now, contextualizing it to what we are saying here. Your emotion can make you to be stupid. Your emotion can make you to make mistake that you will never be able to correct. That is the reason why you don't have to be emotional when it comes to issue between our leader's family and the IPOB day-to-day activities. They have no right to interfere because our leader did not tell us. It is like now telling, I take you to a war. I take you to a war as a captain or as a commander of the army. And now command you to do something. Now all of a sudden, my brother, I am not around. I told you that this is what you do until I say otherwise. This is what you do. If it is difficult to bring it back to me to now seek for a new this thing. If it is difficult, he never tell you that if anybody, my mother come and tell you tomorrow, this is now, you can't do it this way. You should do it the other way. You will now say it is my mother because I respect this people's mother. I respect him. Is the mother who gave birth to him. I respect him so much. Therefore, you compromise the mission. You jeopardize the mission, rather. That is your emotion, what it does to you. So this picture you see here, Emmanuel Meme, wife, which is our leader's brother's wife, taking picture with Okezi Ikpeazu, who was under his watch, which they say that they were the ones taking picture in Afaroku Ibek, Operation Python Dance, under the watch of Okezi Ikpeazu. Now, in this time of uncertainty, difficulty, we are actually trying to find out who is exactly sabotaging us. The family, who is that? They brought in this picture. Is it this girl that took this picture with Okezi Ikpeazu that sent it to the social media? I don't think so. It cannot be, huh? Do you know why? Because you will not bring it in this time. Because this is their secret. This is the secret that they have for themselves. You know who could bring it out? People that are the enemy of, this struggle. Because what this thing is doing, it could be okay. I can say it like that because I put up a disclaimer. You know who could bring this big picture? It could be Okezie Ikpeazu, who will make this picture surface in the media. Do you know why? So that people will start losing interest. So that people will start actually telling you that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is compromised. So that people will start telling you something that would, bring your spirit down or make you think otherwise, negatively towards the work of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But I want you to know, it is the job of enemy. That is the reason why you don't have to be emotional. Because when you are emotional, you will end up following these people as the people who are siblings to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They will be going to look favor with the influence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in the hands of the politicians. And the politicians, on the other hand, will use it against them to get back to their brother. Did you see how it rotates? It rolls like this. Ometuimi, ometuanya. That's where the context comes in. Ometuimi, the adage, comes in. Ometuanya. Now, we know that these politicians are the people who come together and sell our leader to the enemy. And the family of our leader are going about taking picture. Just like Catriona Lang is going about taking picture with terrorists, with people that are killing people. Is there any different from this and what we talk about Catriona Lang? Please, somebody should tell me. Is there any different from this and what Catriona Lang is doing in Nigeria? There is something Marian Hedda said yesterday when we were in Radio Biafra. She said that it is our people who does not want to, save themselves. It is our people. They don't want to save themselves. They don't want to be free. They keep, pretending that they want to. Very little thing they capitulate. Very, very little thing, be it material or nonchalant things, they capitulate. You will find them, getting themselves, involved with something that, can destroy them. Now look at this picture. It is not posted by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's family because it is their secret. Who posted it? The person that he took that picture with. Probably. Or their enemy, to prove to you, to actually sell a narrative. But they don't know they are doing us a favor. They believe they are using it to sabotage us. They cannot sabotage us with it. They are doing us a favor. You know the favor? Because now you will understand that all these politicians are not leaving any stone unturned. They are going about trying to sabotage Mazen Nnamdi Kanu one way or the other. Being through their family, going to try to maybe consolidate with the family, and after they take a picture. After taking that picture, they post it on the social public domain. To tell you, these are the people who are accusing us that we are the ones who are causing insecurity. They are taking pictures with us. That is how it is. They are taking pictures with us. And when you look at it, it actually, will you argue it? No, you cannot argue it because it is a conspiracy that will appear to look like the truth. You can't argue it. It is a setup which you actually fall into, and it will haunt you. It will bite you. That is as a result of seeing this picture. So many people will ask, where this picture was posted, what exactly does this picture mean? It means a lot. It means absolutely a lot in what we are doing. You might not understand it, but it means a lot. It is a message. It is a message. They will call you to consolidate with you, dine with you. You will think they are doing anything to assist you without knowing that you are actually giving them your influence. They use your influence to actually, get back at you, to destroy you. You tapping your influence to destroy you. That's what they are doing. That is what you are seeing here. That is the reason why you should keep your emotions in check. Keep your emotions in check. Because these politicians, they will call you, they steal your influence, they use it to destroy you. Now, you will think you are dealing with people. Who cares? You don't know they have manipulated you. You have sold out one way or the other without you realizing that you have sold out one way or the other. And at the end of the day, you will not have any way to escape. Will you come and say, no, you didn't take this picture, it's a Photoshop? Of course, you know Photoshop when you see it. I am a master at actually decoding Photoshop. But this is not a Photoshop. This is a reality. They posted it to use it to actually, they use it to push a narrative that you are taking picture with them while you claim that your brother was sold by them. While you are claiming that your brother-in-law was actually incarcerated or was attempted to be killed by these same people. That is the reason why they posted this picture you had of them with them. If you serve the zoo, they will disgrace you, which is you come back in shame. But above all, they are the reason why you are in your problem. They are the people who sold your family member. They are the people who betrayed him. They are the people who made sure that he is still in the solitary confinement. Today, they are the people who are trying to say they are suretying him. They will stand surety for him. Why? So that they will destroy that. They wouldn't want him to be a free man. Because our call for his release is on its peak. And the call for his release has gained traction all over the world. And the response are there. So they want to actually scuttle the hard work. Okezi Bazo and his people resurfaced this picture or posted it. It is a recent picture to use it to scuttle what we are actually fighting for or fighting against. If the family member is dining with the enemy, who are we? Who are we? That is the message that is being sent here. But of course, we are too big a fish to be caught with a penny hook. We actually have received the message. We now analyze it, send it back, it does not have any significant effect on us. It is not a must that everyone will believe in each other's ideology. It is not a must. So that is the reason why if this person or her husband decide to make friends with the enemies, it is his life. He's an adult. They are an adult. It is up to them to make their decisions. As long as they don't use their decision to actually, destroy to destroy what we are doing, that's okay. They can do it. But they don't know that they are compromised already. I saw a place where they say when Nelly was actually talking about these people believe she is crazy. When she started talking about them, people believe she is crazy. Even though she is crazy, or she might be crazy, but she makes sense. Somehow, she makes sense. Somehow, she is crazy, but she makes sense somehow. Because the ones she didn't get right, such as accusing the DOS, she came back and said that she was thinking like it was the DOS, not knowing. She came back and actually confessed and pronounced it. But she never come back to change her words when what she said about Canon Takano, Emmanuel Kano, and the rest of the siblings of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. She never come to say it. Because these people, they are doing what is uncalled for. Now, don't get me wrong. Nelly is crazy. Very, very crazy. And compromised. Don't forget that she is a loose cannon. I want you to know, when people, are loose, they are vulnerable to be manipulated by the enemy. They are vulnerable to be manipulated. So whatever they say, make sure you investigate before you will actually agree with them. Investigate or disagree with them. So in this regard, Nelly said that Canon Takano, Emmanuel Kanu, that they are enemy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Could that be true? Remember, it is conspiracy theory. Remember, it is conspiracy theory. It is perspective, not the truth or not the reality. I just want you to actually choose one that works for you. That is the reason why I actually put it that way. You choose the one that is going to work for you in that regard. Then you will now make sure you look around what is happening today in our struggle. Then you tell yourself what is going on. You come to a conclusion. Only one conclusion. Ideologies, there are people out there who will support it. There are people who will not support it. The reason why you see that, people agree and disagree with one another, it is because your thought is different from that person's. So, you cannot make a decision on behalf of that person. You can only make a decision on behalf of a minor. But once they are adult, they know what is good for them and what is wrong for them. When they become adult, not adult of the age of 18 years, when they become adult, they know what is good for them and what is wrong for them. When they grow a wisdom teeth, that is when they become adult. They will now know what is good for them and what is bad. So these people are adults. They have chosen their own way, but they should not use it to interfere with what we are doing. The same thing we have told Fulani. Fulani should not use their primitive way to stand in our own way of what we are doing. That is very important message that we are going to be sending this evening. They shouldn't use it to interfere with us. We are not stupid. We can see everything. We know what we want. But narrow is the way. And that narrow way is the one we are following. Being careful, absolutely careful, making sure that we do not get ourselves, into the thorn, or get carried away and say, no, we cannot deal with the thorn and the difficult path. No, we continue to follow this narrow way in order to achieve our freedom. And we continue to obey the DOS, which our leader told us to obey. We must obey and follow them diligently, without being prejudiced, without, until you can actually, you have the right to actually, bring your own suggestion that will work. But you don't have that right to actually implement it, because you know why? We are in a struggle. We are not yet in democracy. The leadership are selected so that the struggle will have shape. You can only suggest. You can always suggest. That is the reason why they can have what is called interactive session, where you will call in, bring in your own opinion. If they see it to be valid, they will actually implement it. If it is not valid, after there's research and investigation, they can actually devalue it. So that is the way it is in the leadership of a struggle. This is a war we have embarked upon. You don't need to be indisciplined. You must obey the last order. You must obey the standing order. Do you know why? Because if military are not organized, they will never go to war. If they don't have a leader, they will never go to war. In football field, if you don't have a captain, you will never make it in football pitch. If you don't have a coach, you will never, make it in the training. And the training determines what happens in the football pitch. So that is the reason why you must have leadership, structure, your backbone. And that is the reason why we are following this one that our leader has given to us. Because he was very wise. He knows that he has selected some of these men amongst the 100 men and actually placed them where they should be and told us to follow them. So, if people obeyed Moses before he went up to the mountain. The Israelites will not travel the journey they're supposed to travel days, 400 years. Indiscipline, rebellious. We are so rebellious against instruction, which is what is destroying us. If we have time tomorrow, we will come back, but we need to fix the challenges, technical challenges we are having with this studio. I will try to rebroadcast this on Facebook tomorrow because of they kick us out, and it is on Facebook we get broader audience. So they kicked us out so many times. So until we meet again, don't forget, keep your emotions in check, because it has a lot of role to play in what you are doing. If you dine with the enemy, don't forget that they are going to actually use it against you, because they are dining with you to collect your influence, to use it to destroy what you are doing. They can pay anything, they can give you anything, promise you anything just to steal your influence, because your influence is what matters the most. They will use it to destroy you. The same way they stole, the nakedness of Nelly, to use it to destroy her in their conspiracy, because she chose to dine with the enemy. She chose to dine with the devil. They stole her influence. They use it to destroy her. Something that you must always remember. Until we meet again, stay safe. Stay informed. Tell the governors they will not push a narrative. Our leaders is discharged and acquitted. He must be released without any condition. Unconditional. That is exactly what we are calling for. We don't need any release him to me. We don't need to release him to me. Let it sink in the mind of all these governors, those people who claim that they are educated. Let it sink into their head, and let it sink into whoever, whether you are a family member or a lawyer. Let it sink into your head before you come and write rubbish in the public domain. Those you are a lawyer, Ejimako, you should actually know that you should continue being your lawyer. You should have called Soludo privately and tell him that Onyendu said that he appreciates it. Why do you have to bring it on a public domain? A lawyer that is supposed to know better. You're supposed to know better, but you chose to bring it in the public domain to devaluate or to devalidate all the, this thing makes me to question the result you got in Umuahia. It makes me to actually query it. Did they give you that result because they know that you are vulnerable to be compromised? Or did they really give it to you because you deserve it? Number one is that you came to say that Onyendu DSS say they cannot take care of our leader. You came to say it, they cannot take care of our leader. Without you challenging it that they should release him since they cannot take care of our leader. You came to report it and say that the brothers raised 1 million to give the DSS for them to use it as a money-making scheme. Without you challenging it, it is the duty of a state to take care of every burden they take upon their shoulder. It is the duty of them. They don't have to complain. They were not placed in a position to complain. They are placed in that position to deliver. You didn't actually challenge it in that regard. You came to say, you came to announce it without challenging it. Because these are the things, places you're supposed to come up and challenge. It is their duties. Have you ever seen, even in the US where you lived, have you ever seen where a government will take a person in their custody without taking care of them? And remember that under democracy, you are not guilty until proven guilty. So if they take you when they have not proved you guilty, it means that you are their burden. They will take care of you. Because if you are proven guilty, if you are proven not guilty, if they have done anything against you, they have to pay. They will pay for your time. They will pay for your time. Because they took it upon themselves to see a perspective, and they call it a crime. And they call it truth. So now, make sure that you condemn realism to me. Condemn realism to me. Condemn surety standing or standing surety. Condemn it in the highest order. Because they want to cage our leader, even though when he is out, they want to continue to cage him. Who is going to actually sign surety for his life? They are not signing surety for his life. Because it was realism to me. Abaribe signed surety. Did he sign surety for his life that time? The answer is no. They went to kill him. Had it been they succeeded, realism to me will be, all of them will be living their life. Don't be fooled. Be wise. Be careful. Otherwise, you are